Honourable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to deliver today my response to the speech from the throne, and for the privilege of delivering my maiden speech to this House.
Hear, hear.
It is indeed an honour which I take very seriously. First, let me congratulate you and the other officers of this House on your election to lead us in our humble duties. And to all members of this House, I salute their commitment to represent the people of Alberta to the best of their ability. And to my caucus colleagues, for their indulgence, patience, and guidance as I become conversant with legislative practices and procedures. As a 23-year resident of Calgary-Fish Creek, I am more than humbled to represent a constituency which I believe reflects much of what is great about our province. Being the 19th member of the legislature to serve this geographic area, I am in good company with premiers, speakers, and leaders of the official opposition preceding me. Established in 1979, Calgary-Fish Creek, named after the neighbouring Fish Creek Provincial Park, has previously had only two other MLAs representing the great communities of Canyon Meadows, Lake Bonavista, Bonavista Downs, Parkland, Deer Run, Deer Ridge, Queensland, and Diamond Cove. Calgary-Fish Creek is home to just over 38,000 Albertans living in an area with a deep history and key significance to this region. An area of early habitation and gathering for our First Nations people, and first settled in 1873 by John and Adelaide Glenn, Fish Creek quickly became an area known for ranching, agriculture, trading, and social activity. And some of those habits still remain today. After a short period as a Dominion of Canada instructional farm for Treaty 7, the land was purchased by the Hull brothers, where it became a place of innovation in irrigation and agricultural production, while also cultivating a much heralded reputation for regional social life, with the emergence of the Bow Valley Ranch as a required stop for all visiting dignitaries. The natural brick home built by William Roper Hull still stands proudly, restored today as a showpiece of the ranch at Fish Creek Restoration Society, a testament to the tenacity, hard work, and dedication of Mitzi and Larry Vasiliou, who, along with the Friends of Fish Creek Provincial Park Society and regional park staff, continue to act as able stewards of this valuable park, established in 1975 by Premier Lougheed's PC government as a legacy for all Albertans to enjoy for generations to come. It has indeed lived up to that government's vision. Today, Fish Creek is our busiest provincial park, welcoming an estimated 4 million visitors per year to enjoy this gem of nature as Canada's largest urban park.
Hear, hear.
I am proud to represent communities which share this incredible natural resource. The constituency of Calgary-Fish Creek, which has been home to me and my growing family since 1992, is an amazing example of community spirit at its best. Along with my wife Kathy and our 3 children, we have been committed to and deeply involved with the community since making it our home. From years of involvement in the scouting movement to managing of soccer, lacrosse, and volleyball teams, and an ongoing commitment to area schools, it has been a pleasure to connect with our neighbours and other like-minded Albertans seeking a safe, friendly, welcoming, and nurturing community. In Fish Creek, 70% of area homes were built between 1961 and 1980, including, of course, Calgary's first man-made lake, Lake Bonavista, as a brainchild of Mr. E.V. Keith, now a community-run facility that boasts its own mini ecosystem, including year-round recreation and fishing. 48% of residents were born in Alberta, while 18% are immigrants. Over 85% are homeowners, and fully 62% boast post-secondary education, working in every vocation and profession imaginable. While over 15% of residents are between the ages of 5 and 17, an almost equal number are age 65 or over. Languages spoken in the area include French, Chinese, German, Punjabi, Vietnamese, Spanish, and Tagalog, to name a few, reflecting the increasing diversity within the constituency over the past several decades. As a proud born and raised Calgarian and Albertan myself, I am perhaps a hybrid of what makes our community, Alberta, and Canada great. While my mother was a third-generation Irish Canadian of humble roots, born in Parry Sound, Ontario, her sense of adventure and selflessness led her, as an RN, to Thailand to establish their first ever public health program, representing the United Nations World Health Organization. There she met my father, a Polish-born Jew raised in Shanghai and a refugee from the communist regimes of Stalin and Mao. And he also, in a faraway land, representing MGM movies in the most exotic of locales during the era of The King and I. And where did they choose to raise a family? Alberta. And I am blessed that their choice, back in 1957, has become part of my life story. Yes, my parents were two of those people from all around the world who shared a dream of a better life, mentioned in the throne speech. And I and my family, and indeed I believe all of us here, are part of that living legacy. I have lived in war-torn Nigeria as an impressionable child, traveled extensively around the world during a 2-decade-long career in the international airline business, and fed a lifelong appetite for wanderlust. But Alberta remains my haven, my safe place, and the best place in the world to make a living, build a life, and to call home. Here. During my humble life, I have been honored with the privilege of serving the community in many ways. With deep involvement in Alberta's Asian communities since the early 1980s, I have been blessed to have made many lifelong friends and am humbled to be considered honorary Chinese by my peers in that community. Being part of bringing dragon boat racing to Alberta in 1992 was one of my proudest moments. While I've been deeply involved in embracing cultural diversity through such organizations and events as the Chinatown Street Festival in Calgary, the Hong Kong Canada Business Association, which is a national and provincial organization, Hong Kong Days, and more recently Global Fest. I've also had the privilege of deep engagement with community groups and the nonprofit sector, including the Kids Cancer Care Foundation, Trico Center for Family Wellness, Trico Charitable Foundation, Habitat for Humanity, and many more, too numerous to mention. These opportunities have deeply influenced who I am and the values I uphold and defend every day. I have also been blessed to have spent a decade in Alberta's housing sector. This has provided me with an opportunity to embrace the importance of affordable and appropriate housing for all Albertans. This key issue will be a personal priority for me in working with this legislature, collaborating with the public, private, and nonprofit sectors to bring creativity and innovation to reduce barriers faced by many Albertans, both longtime residents and newcomers of all ages, in addressing housing affordability. But why public service at this stage of my career in life? Not only is it time for me to give back, but also for me to follow my passion for people, for our province, and to do all that I can do to ensure Alberta and Canada can seize our rightful position on the national and global stage. From the distant memories of model parliament at Western Canada High School to studying political science and economics at the University of Calgary, some dreams never fade. For me, the core values and principles of the party and people I now serve and represent remain little changed from the vision I took away as a 13-year-old pounding in lawn signs from Peter Lougheed in 1971. To me, Alberta is, rather simplistically, all about three things. Entrepreneurial spirit, for which Alberta is renowned as a national leader, and where those with a predisposition for risk can bring forth great societal wealth. A prairie work ethic, a true tribute to our pioneers and province builders from all walks of life. And building an inclusive society, but truly more than that, embracing and celebrating diversity in all its forms. I am a passionate proponent for, and will remain a fierce defender of, the Alberta Advantage, recognizing that the legacy of what this means to Albertans varies from city to city, town to town, and hamlet to hamlet, but that it does have a powerful and distinct meaning to every Albertan. Whether they were born and raised on the land, or whether they came from across our country or from around the world, they have chosen our great province as a place to build a life and to live their dreams, with the benefits of the Alberta Advantage as their beacon. But let us be mindful that we are stewards of this legacy and that ego, dogmatic ideology, and blind ambition have no place in the formula for our future and for our future success as individuals, as a people, or as a province. And that one of the most admirable traits for any individual or community is indeed a simple characteristic: humility. We must work together collectively as passionate Albertans, but we must listen to and respect the views of others while defending their right to hold differing opinions. That is what our forefathers fought for and what we must respect and honor their sacrifice for. We must ensure our legacy is not one of irresponsible, unsustainable behavior, sacrificing generations of wealth and resources for our own enrichment, while also ensuring we do not leave a trail of debt and burden for future Albertans. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, honourable members, guests, and fellow Albertans, we have been entrusted with the power and ability to do great things. But with that power comes great responsibility. Let us honour that as we live, learn, prosper, and grow together as the 29th Legislative Assembly of this great province. Thank you.